What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Miracle. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Wesker. Wesker the man, Wesker the myth, Wesker the legend. We do have competitive mega random. It is still the group stages of this tournament. It's going to be group stages of this tournament for 2 whole weeks. We've got a metric shit ton of games to get through. And this is just yet another one of those games. So you do have to remember, if there are 4 people in a group, that means there are potential. Well, that means that everyone has to play everyone 4 times, which means one player, which means there's going to be 4, 3. There's going to be a lot of games, and then inside of those games, there's a lot of best ofs. And then we move on to the next stage. So there's just going to be a shit ton of competitive mega random for you guys to see over the next couple weeks, over the next month or so. I'm excited to share it with you. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to come up with and how we're going to learn and get better and all of the things that come along with that, as we are seeing both players chucking docks down. It is a water map. You get told that it's a water map at the start of the game. The game is nice enough to at least let you know that there are fish, because we do deem it to be the case that is very much important, and all the good things that happen with that. So what do these guys do in this sort of a map? This map is looking very much like a mini Mediterranean. Yes, Hisoko Maru. That's true here. However, the big difference is that unlike on Mediterranean, this map here, all the fish is around the edges of this water, and it's a very, very small amount of water, which means a couple of things. So firstly, it means that the speedy Oranos ships lose a lot of their value. A lot of the value that you can get out of Oranos on a Mediterranean is kind of hit and run tactics, utilizing the speed of your ships to get in, get out, and all that other good stuff. And then the other thing is the Norse, well, they're just going to have to sit here and take it and see what they can do. Now, Wesker is a Loki player at heart, and I must say, for some reason, Loki play. I'm not saying this is Wesker. Wesker is a very, very unique, very, very strong Loki player. But for some reason, whenever you see a Loki player playing, whenever they get onto a water map, everything seems to go out the window. And what I mean by that is there is no reason for. Well, okay, let me start. What I mean by that is that an Isis player who jumps onto Anatolia is good on Anatolia, for example. A Zeus player who goes on Midgard will be decent on Midgard. Doesn't matter. Like, their level is kind of similar all the way up. But with Loki players, it seems like their level on like a land map, a high hunt map, is way higher than their level on like an Anatolia or a Mediterranean. And I think a lot of that just comes down to the fact that there's not a lot of strategy they need to know. They just kind of do the same thing every game. And therefore, when it comes to a different map where they actually need a different strategy, they haven't had to work to learn said strategies, and it can be a little bit more challenging, as we are seeing Mr. Wesker over here being very, very sneaky, chucking up the temple. He's spotted the gold mine, or maybe spotted the gold mine, and he is going through Heimdall. This is very, very spicy here from Albert Wesker. Ladies and gentlemen, not going for anything that I would consider meta here. I mean, it's competitive mega random, so really, what would you try here? But the big point here is that what are we really going to see? We've got ourselves 5 fishing ships. The villagers are still on the food. Is this going to be the ridiculously strong, underappreciated, super underutilized, fast, heroic strategy here from Loki? I've suggested that Loki and Odin can get a lot of value out of actually not rushing here. You go Heimdall, you put the Iron in your temple, you don't go and attack your opponent, you just go fast, heroic. You get Mountain Giant, Iron Walking Woods to kill the town center. You get the Kraken to win the water, or at least do something on the water, and then you go from there. However, unfortunately for Albert Wesker, he's been a little bit slow here to get his dock up, and that's going to allow Miracle to start getting himself a ridiculously big advantage on the water here. And we are seeing the Einherjar pushing forward, the tower getting taken down very, very fast. Going to give Wesker a lot of favor in the bank. Miracle going to have to leave this location over here, and we do see a citizen for Miracle already making his way down to this bottom corner over here to jump onto this large gold mine. So very smart from Miracle to make that run over there already. If we check out the map, there are 2 gold mines on this bottom side here for Wesker, but Miracle's got the majority of the gold mines on the top side that he's got not a watchful eye over just yet, but somewhat of an idea that they exist, as we are going to be seeing the longhouse coming through here. The fishing ships could drop back out onto their fish over here, but have not yet chosen to do that. We do see the oracles pushing in here, as we've got double military barracks down now for Miracle. Not going to waste any time here making any of those Chiroballister or Terma. He just wants to go straight into Mermillo. It makes a lot of sense. However, the Chiroballister in this situation also would be a very, very big helping point for the Oranos player, because these Herso, they don't have Hall of Fame. So he went Heimdall, no Hall of Fames. There is that fact there. More houses coming down for Wesker. Another longhouse attempting to come through, as well as a throwing axeman. One throwing axeman to stop this gold mine from being gathered from would be very, very good here. But right now, Miracle is on this gold mine over here. More citizen moving over onto that gold there at this point. Going to be in a decent position here. More fishing ships. Well, fishing ships are out now for Wesker, so no huge advantage there for Miracle on the water, but he has started to fish out most of the fish here. As a Valkyrie does spawn, this is a really, really big help for Wesker, because it's going to allow him to go and find these villages on this gold mine. Get over there with the Valkyrie, get that pressure down, and live the dream here. We'll see how he's going to go, as we are seeing the throwing axeman pushing in right now onto these units. We've got the Herso really wanting to get some more myth unit spawns. He does manage to get a troll here, which is going to be a really, really big help. A lot of low HP Herso here. We see the extra Mermillo coming out with that Val, going to be a really, really big help. However, 2 throwing axemen are out here in order to try and take down these infantry units much, much easier than they otherwise would be. The Valkyrie over here trying to take down a citizen, as Wesker is continuing this push in. The villager jumping into the manor here, going to be going elsewhere in the near future. We're going on to the pig here, as we're seeing the manor getting torn down, and we also see the watchtower here has come through for Miracle, as he is getting closer and closer to a fairly equal amount of population, as Wesker is at 65 population and Miracle is at 59, 61 population. So he's getting closer and closer to being able to deal with this, as we will be seeing this watchtower getting torn down, but not before the Einherjar, well, actually, yes, before when the Einherjar goes down. I thought the Einherjar might have gotten a horn off there, but not quite able to. We do see another Einherjar spawn here, which is going to be a really, really big help. The Terma on this side here getting a nice snipe there onto a throwing axeman, almost picks it off, and does pick it off there with that final throw. Nice play from Miracle to allow the Terma to take that one. Now we're starting to see some Chiroballister coming in here. This Valkyrie has probably managed to pick off one citizen, but should be over there harassing the rest of those citizens in that corner. Unfortunately for Wesker, he hasn't had enough Valkyrie spawns to send over to said gold mine here, as Albert is looking around. He's going to see this gold mine, click on it, and realize that a ton of gold has been grabbed here, and Wesker definitely having made some kind of a mistake here, as Wesker has to retreat away. The Chirobalisters in are going to be taking doing a very, very good job of finishing off these units. We see the shockwave onto that ball of units here, and now Wesker, while he's not out of this game just yet, those Einherjar are going to come in and help out a ton. He really does have to think about retreating here. The Miracle Oranos going to be able to put a lot of pressure forward. We are seeing this Valkyrie now getting trapped a little bit by the Hero Citizen. Hero Citizen will be able to beat that Valkyrie and allow his villagers to continue mining gold on that location. And there still hasn't been another Valkyrie spawn for Wesker. Something that might have been a good help here for Wesker might have been a handful of raiding cavalry to build and send over to that other gold mine in the earlier stages of this game. However, now Miracle is happy happily on this gold mine. Has tons of wood in the back. Probably doesn't need any villagers on wood anymore. His citizen finishes up that Valkyrie there with the hero citizen still with 90 HP, not 900, 90 HP remaining. So now those Carabaluses are going to make absolute mincemeat of these Herso here. And the Einjar, while they're a big help, there's still a handful of hero units here. And if you know anything about hero units, they just kill basically infinite myth units. Myth units become very, very weak against the hero units. And while we only have one left, it's still going to be a big advantage shift for Miracle, as it seems like he's pulling away in the population by quite a big margin here. 80 population for Miracle to 54 for Albert Wesker, as another Einjar falling. The Herso getting picked off here as well. The Einjar on that location does fall, and now Miracle going to be making his way through here, and we'll see how it's all going to happen here. I think Wesker's just going to have, well, I mean, he is going to be building units in. Okay, he's going to take the L here. It's a tough one. The villager's probably searching for some hunt over here or something, but after the rush, you can't really Heimdall rush an Oranos. The point that I think that Albert made here was that he could have done this and done a fast heroic behind it. So I think had Albert Wesker prioritized Temple, second dock over here to make sure he's got the fishing ships under control, to have a couple of docks up so he doesn't lose those immediately, build one or two Hersa only to push off this gold mine here, and then the villagers would have moved over here. There would have been a really big advantage for Wesker going forward. He would have hit the heroic age, been able to win the water easily with a Kraken and a dragon ship, or just the Kraken to hold his water would have been fine as well. And then he could have gone in with the Walking Woods. The other possibilities here would be to just play a little bit more standard, go for a 4-SETI play, and go in with a kind of semi-fast heroic to hit a flaming weapons all in onto the town center, similar to what I would suggest the Loki player do on Mediterranean, except this is possibly an easier map to do it on because you got those safe fish. Not necessarily safe, but safe-ish fish. You can go like 5 to 10 longboats into Hersa, Hall of Thanes, Heroic Age, Flaming Weapons, Town Center, Gold Staff, or Mass Myth units is the idea where that's concerned. But Albert doesn't go for that. He went for the Heimdall Rush. He almost pulled it off. Just needed a little bit more effort over here. If he sent that Ulfsark to the bottom side of the map, built a longhouse here, sent some Ulfsark or Hersa onto this location, could have been a completely different game here, but not being able to stop that gold there does allow the Oranos to survive very, very nicely. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.